Peter Rabbit, a gem among games. Well, at least in my opinion. I've always had such great memories about this game. Every time I've always played it, it's always been so much fun. Because, well, when I was a little kid, I never really had a chance to play Pajama Sam, There's No Need to Hide When It's Dark Outside, or any of the putt-putt games, so this game was always my game. I remember always coming home every night at the end of kindergarten and just playing the game, putting it into my mom's laptop and pressing start and just having fun. Now, I will admit, it is a pretty short game, but I was playing it pretty quickly just because I didn't need as much footage and, I need to have storage on my computer to do other things, but I always had such great memories about this game, and yes, I will admit I did play some of the putt-putt games and Pajama Sam, and There's No Need to Hide When It's Dark Outside. I think that's what it was called, but the reason why I didn't play a lot of Humongous Entertainment's games was because I could only play them at school on our daycare's old Windows 95 computer, I think it was. And since it was old at the time and no one wanted to play it, so I'd always get on the computer and be able to play Humongous Entertainment's games, but still, I always have good memories of this game, and this will always be my game. So, when I found it in my mom's office, hidden behind a few other CDs, I thought, hey, it'd be time to come back to this game and see how it holds up. Without further ado, let's start the review of Reader Rabbit First Grade. Ah, man, good old memories. The nostalgia factor is real.
Sam, if it rains soon, will you promise to stop humming to your plants?
Rude. Maybe next time I water my plants, I'll hum even louder just to tick you off.
Sure, Paige, but what? Paige? Yow! What's going on?
Just like to point out the fact that he just abandoned Paige right after she got hit by an umbrella.
It's raining boots and umbrellas!
Wow!
And his book just went to another dimension. We hope to see it soon.
Careful, it's very dangerous out here. What are we going to do?
Sam, calm down. You're imagining things.
Can you explain the stuff on the ground here? Okay? I mean, how did this get here? Did you just put it there?
Umbrellas don't just fall from the sky.
You were saying?
Okay, let's get the ship and go.
Man, now that's music!
What is your name? Find it on the list or type it in.
Okay, let's just go with my name. I did it. Okay, and let's go!
Glad you're here. We sure could use some help during our adventure.
Yee-haw!
So where are we going, reader?
Wait, hold on. How are you still alive? You got impaled by an umbrella just a minute ago. And I'm pretty sure they didn't bring you onto the boat. I didn't see anything there. How are you still alive?
To the clouds, Paige. There must be some explanation. Rain only occurs when... Looks like we're here. I'll follow along to provide some extra help.
And Chester, will you carry the things we pick up along the way?
Wait, when was the living chest part of this? He never came on the boat. I didn't ask for this.
Wow, that's fluffy. Here it goes. One small step for Rabbit.
Yahoo! Isn't this amazing? We're on top of the clouds!
I hope we can find out where the umbrellas and things are coming from.
Should we follow this path?
And so the journey begins. So if you're a little confused as what's happening, here's the story. So Dr. Turtle Guy here is throwing raincoats, boots, umbrellas, hats, you name it, at the clouds because he doesn't like the rain and wants it to stop. And he thought this was a good idea? Okay, either way. And so, well, being normal people, the cloud people don't like their stuff being covered in, raincoats, boots, etc. But another problem with this is the fact that if a little bit more coats, rain boots, etc., it all, lands in the clouds, it could eventually all fall out and land all over the island and making it messy. Because that's a problem? So, our goal as the heroes is we're meant to put a stop to this using rubber bands, hoop, and a fluffy pillow. I don't know how this is gonna go, but this is where most of the gameplay starts to happen. The first game we come across is a spelling game. The goal of the spelling game is to get the cloud block to the top of the conveyor belt wall. To do that, we have to spell the words properly to fill in the conveyor belt gaps. Why they didn't fill in the conveyor belt gaps in the first place, I don't know. But the point of this game is to get the magic singing marbles. We need these in the future to complete the game, as they are extremely essential to completing the game. But this game actually is pretty fun. It is a little kind of not really intense, but for a little kid who's in the first grade, I think it would be pretty fun. The second game we find is a sandwich making game. You can put 3 toppings on the sandwich, but every time you pick a topping, you have to do some simple math to buy the topping. This game was always one of my favorites because you could make such weird combinations, and there were such weird gross things like fried worms, ants, and socks. It was such a weird, funny game at the time. Oh yeah, and did I mention the fact that this game gives you marbles? And again, you need the marbles to complete the game. So I had to play this game a few times, just to make sure I had enough marbles to complete the game. The actual game. The next game we come across is a word-changing game. The point of this game is to take the word that you were given and change it to the word that you need. You do this by putting the word that you have into the corresponding flower pots, beginning sound, vowel sound, and ending sound. Again, changing the 3 parts of the word corresponding to the bowls. Once you get the word that you need, you put it into the box that the flower has given you, and then you go retrieve another word and do the same thing. Once you finish enough words, you will eventually get a singing marble, which again, are essential to completing the game. Also, you might want to take one of his wagons. You're gonna need it for later. Something else I forgot to mention is that on the way to the flower game, you're gonna come across a living boulder listening to music and wearing the purple hoop on his head. As you know, you're gonna need that purple hoop. To get to him, you're gonna need a ladder from the cloud game with the conveyor belts. Then, once you get up to the top, you will ask for the hoop, and you'll have to give him a purple umbrella hat. I will show you later where you can get the purple umbrella hat, as it is important. The next game you'll come across is a math game. The goal of the game is to have the same number on both of the tree's branches corresponding to the number in the center. Whenever you get a question right, you will get a nut. Every time you get enough questions right, you will get a singing marble. And again, the more questions you do, the more chance you have of getting a singing marble. And remember, you are still going to need those singing marbles. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to get the umbrella hat for the boulder. When you go into the main city, go to the Cloud 9 Art Gallery. Make a few quick animations there, and eventually the old lady will give you her hat. Once you have the hat, go bring it to the boulder, and then the boulder will give you the hoop. It's as easy as that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to get the rubber bands. When you're in Cloud City, go down the main road. When you go down the main road, you'll realize that there's a stampede of sheep. To get past that stampede of sheep, you need to go back to the doctor's house, go into the top left door from the main computer room where he's standing. When you're in that top left room, you'll find a room with a pachinko machine and a gumball machine in there. Finish the game with the pachinko machine by getting the balls into the correct answer by switching around the position of the track. When you get enough answers right, you'll eventually get a magic marble. And then eventually, at random chance, you'll manage to get a whistle. Grab that whistle and go back to the sheep. When you're on the road with the sheep, use the whistle. The sheep will stop and let you pass. When you go past the road, you'll eventually find a little girl who's wrapping some newspapers with the rubber bands. If you give her the red wagon you got earlier from the flower game, give that one to her, and then she'll give you the rubber bands, as she does not need them anymore. Go down the rainbow slide that's just behind you. You'll eventually end up at Boulder. Okay, and this is how to finish the game. Once you get the rubber band in the pillow, go back to the doctor's house and go into the room with the music rhythm machine. Complete all the rhythms to open up the door beside it. Once the door is open, grab the pillow from underneath the ruby. Sadly, you cannot collect the ruby, and if there is a way to collect the ruby, I don't know how. Once you have all of the items, bring them back to the doctor, and a small cutscene will play of him making the little small rubber band trampoline, bouncing up to turn the lever off, and landing on the pillow. Once that is over, it will cut to a little mini game, simple back and forth sorting game with falling items. Once that is over, the final short cutscene plays, and that's it. So yeah, that was the game. Rita Rabbit First Grade. It wasn't as fun as I remember it being, but then again, I was in the first grade when I was playing the game, so makes sense. But I still do remember some parts of the game, like the cloud conveyor belt section and the boulder. Those were always some of the weirder parts. The cloud one was more just, I remembered it because it was the first thing you came across. But yeah, that was the game. It wasn't really that hard, then again, because I know I am older, but I think it'd be a really great game for someone who's, in the first grade, kindergarten, or second grade maybe. But yeah, that's why I give my final score on this game a 7 out of 10. It's not perfect, and again, it ain't no humongous entertainment with their smooth graphics and everything like that, but for a game that's quite old, it is pretty good, and it still holds up. The animation is nice, and it's got some nice characters in it, and the voices aren't too crazy or anything like that. And again, there are some things that don't make sense in the game, like the fact that, there's a city in the clouds, but it is a children's game, and if that's what's going to get the attention of the children, that's good. So yeah, I still do like the game, but not the way I used to when I was in first grade. It's more of there's a nostalgia kind of thing, and yeah. So, that was my review on Rita Rabbit in the first grade. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more of my content, remember to subscribe and leave a comment down below. Either way, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!